Why I read every single day and why you should read as well. Reading is a shortcut to whatever you want in life, okay? Instead of having to go out and doing everything and making the mistakes yourself, you can just read a book where people have done all the mistakes already. And they created a book telling you how to avoid the mistakes and instead get the best possible results in that field. So, if you want to be better at cold calling, there is literally a book called Cold Calling Sucks. I think cold calling is nice, but I understand what they mean because no one likes to getting interrupted. And when you're cold calling someone, you're interrupting their day. So you have to be very efficient when you're cold calling to show that you have value to bring and tell them quickly who you are, what you want, and why you're calling. So, like I said, in every field, you can read books. You can use their techniques and then do that. So, if I want to be better at cold calling, I read a book about cold calling from people that have done it for many, many years already. And now I don't have to do trial and error. That's why most people give up. When instead you just read a book of someone who has done what you want to do. And you should only read books and learn from mentors of people who you want to be like. But you can learn from every person. So, of course, there is something from someone, like someone that are good at gardening. Perhaps I don't want to be like him, but if I want to learn about gardening, I will learn from him. Perhaps I don't want to be just like him, but let's say I have a mission, I have a task that involves gardening. I will find the best gardener and read his book if I don't have the accessibility to talk to him directly. I think the best thing you can do is read a book about that person. So, dead people, you can't talk to them. So, the best thing you can do is read a book about them and their life to better understand who they are and how they got the results that they got, as well as who they read about and their mentors. So if you want to be like someone, read their book, like Napoleon, Alexander the Great. One of the first books I read was Alexander the Great. That will motivate you to become a better person yourself because you can see they are just a human being, so I can do it as well. So the best thing you can do is comparing yourself with other people who you want to be like. Especially if they give you the attention back, you're on their level. So the best thing you can do is say that you're one of them, you're better than them, and now you will gain some of their attention. And that's what most people don't do. Most people have a high ego, so they don't want to ask for help or read a book because they think they know everything already. And that's exactly when you don't know anything. So actually, the more books you read, the more you understand that you know nothing. Like Socrates said, the only thing I know is that I know nothing. So actually, the more books you read, the more you understand there is so much to know, and the less cocky you become, and the more you understand that you know nothing. So instead, you just ask questions, like the Socratic dialogue. You just ask questions instead of knowing everything and telling people everything. Is better to just ask questions to get them to answer themselves. So read books in any field and you will get the answer. So read every single day. Warren Buffett, he reads 8 hours per day. He reads over 500 books, 500 pages per day, because he says that's how knowledge compounds. By reading more and more and more, the knowledge that you read and you indulge, it compounds. So you can use the previous knowledge when you're reading new things. And you can make patterns and you can connect everything and you will understand more of the world. And when you understand patterns from history, for example, you understand that people are always acting like they have always done in history. So read history to understand the patterns of people, and that it will be repeated because most people don't study history. So they're doomed to repeat it. If you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it. And then read psychology to understand the human brain and why people act like they do. Read philosophy to learn how to think clearly, to understand why we are who we are. Like, it's pretty deep. Philosophy is the deepest one. You don't want to go too deep into philosophy early because you can think very, very deeply in philosophy. What is life? Why are we living? What's the point of life? Religion, God. So, if you're not too deeply into that, at least start with something you're familiar with, and then you can go deeper into certain subjects. But I'm saying the best thing, if you want to go really deep, philosophy is the best subject because you go the deepest into that. When you start reading philosophy, really nothing else matters because it's the only thing that's interesting when you have read it, because it's the ultimate form of knowledge, philosophy. It's 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 wisdom. It's everything. So if you don't know how to think, why does it matter to read anything at all? So philosophy, read it when you're ready. Don't read it too early like I did, because you will change forever as a person, and you will be a new person after you started going into philosophy. So read it at your own risk, but I'm saying it's worth it. So if you're ready for the task, do it. If not, don't do it. It's the same with shrooms. But yeah, read every single day. Tell me one of your favorite books. I'm currently reading Spin Selling in Sales. I'm reading Atomic Habits again because I want to touch back on that again to understand that the systems are more important than goals. And everything I'm doing is based in systems. Like a YouTube video right now, this time is systems. Walking 10,000 steps, systems. Instead of saying a goal is like, yeah, I want to walk 10,000 steps in one day and then stop. No, it's like, I'm consistent. Then he says, the identity of a walker. So I'm a healthy person. Your identity is, you write it down, I am a healthy person. Okay, what does a healthy person do? He walks, he eats healthy, he doesn't eat McDonald's. So now when it's aligned with your identity, it's much easier to do the tasks and the habits of a healthy person, someone who identifies as a healthy person. And that's why most people don't want to write it down, because they don't want to change their identity. But the best thing you can do is actually to change your identity. But we can go into this in another video. But it's very interesting. It's a great book, Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, read it. It was one of the first books I read, so that's why I'm rereading it to go deep into habits again and to understand his system of cue to first see it. And yeah, it's just habits. It's important, okay, to get the results. You also get more freedoms when you know the habits you have to do every single day. Just repeat it so you have more time to actually be creative. Okay, guys, read books and be happy.